This is Yasmeen Abdالعزيز, a fourth-year basic student at Faculty of Education, Department of English, and my graduation project is about the importance of women education. Female education is the need of the hour. Without educating the women of the country, we can't hope for a developed nation. Women play a vital role in the all-round progress of a country. And if we want to make democracy successful, women must be educated because they are the real builders of happy homes. It is said that if we educate a man, we educate a man only. But if we educate a woman, we educate the whole family. This highlights the importance of female education. Therefore, female education is essential for the development of a nation. And this is mainly because women are involved in all sorts of activities, both at a regional level and at the community level, such as childbearing and household chores, and etc. Thus, it is very important to provide quality education to women to help them contribute to the development of the nation in a meaningful way. Many studies show that women's education is very important in order to improve the socio-economic position of their families. It is the inequality in access to education for female students that prevents them from obtaining the essential education necessary for their well-being and their family's development. The traditional thinking of many societies that women are just supposed to do the household work has contributed largely to the low levels of female education around the globe. And it is seen that the societies that have focused on providing better education to women have better indicators of social welfare. These societies, for example, have lower infant mortality rate apart from the issue of lower fertility rates, also increased life expectancy, improved the nutrition, and most importantly, better opportunities for their children. Other factors such as residential status and parents' concerns and attitude towards female students also plays an important role in improving the educational status of family students in any society. Parents' level of education also has a direct impact on their daughter's education. The link between the mother and daughter is the strongest. Poverty, parents' professional status, lack of skilled teachers, and lack of incentives, such as scholarships for women, deprivation of parental care, and proper educational policies affect the standard of female education. The first objective is to decrease literacy. Of the 163 million illiterate youth across the globe, nearly 63% are female. Offering all children education will prop up literacy rates, pushing forward development in struggling regions. The second objective is to avoid human trafficking. Women are most vulnerable to trafficking when they are undereducated and poor. According to the United Nations Interagency Project on Human Trafficking, through providing young girls with opportunities and fundamental skills, this billion-dollar industry can be significantly undermined. As for the third objective, we have to reduce poverty. When women are provided with equal rights and equal access to education, they go on to participate in business and economic activity. Increased earning power and income combat against current and future poverty through feeding, clothing, and providing for entire families. As for the fourth objective, which is to increase income potential, education also empowers a woman's wallet by boosting her earning capabilities. According to the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, which is also known for UNESCO as a single year of primary education, has shown to increase a girl's wages later in life by 20%. Concerning the fifth objective, which is bringing equality in the society. Inequality and discrimination always start from the root level. When a boy goes to school and his sister stays back just because she is a girl, this sows a seed of discrimination in the mind of the boy. He feels that he is superior just because he is a boy, and with no sensible logic to prove it. When women participate in education by going to schools and colleges with boys, the boys realize the basic rights of education and do not develop a superiority complex. Therefore, educating women along with men promotes the idea of equality and democracy. As for making the women independent and build their confidence, it is absolutely true that education makes a person independent. Education provides us with the skills to make ourselves capable of offering services to others and earning a livelihood. If women become educated and earn for themselves, they do not then have to depend on their family for anything. This builds their confidence and makes them take their decision on their own. They realize their worth and their uniqueness. Therefore, education for women is really important in making women independent and confident. As for the last objective, women make approximately 50% of the total population, and if they are left uneducated, then a large part of the nation will not be contributing towards its growth, which is a major problem. So, educating women will promote the development of a country.
Education is one of the blessings of life and one of its necessities. Dear sisters and brothers, dear fellow children, we must work, not wait. Not just the politicians and the world leaders. We all need to contribute. Me, you, we. It is our duty. We realize the importance of light when we see darkness. We realize the importance of our voice when we are silenced. In the same way, when we were in Swat, the north of Pakistan, we realized the importance of pens and books when we saw the guns. Why is it that countries which we call strong are so powerful in creating wars but are so weak in bringing peace? Why is it? Why is it that giving guns is so easy, but giving books is so hard? Why is it? Why is it that making tanks is so easy, but building schools is so hard? One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Education is the only solution. Education first. Thank you.
Women in the 21st are thought to have freedom of speech, freedom of choice, freedom from fear, freedom to vote, freedom of enslavement, freedom from torture. In the past, women didn't receive any education at all. They were not allowed to come out of the four walls of their houses. Domestic works were their only education. However, now we are living in the 21st century, where there is no any difference between men and women. In this century, women have the same respect as men have. They help each other in every sphere. So, education should be given to both men and women. However, instead of this, there are so many people who don't want to educate their women because they think that women do not need education. They think that women are expected to take care of everyone except themselves. They have to take care of the children, stay home, clean up the house, and be the self-denying wife and mother. They think only that the life of a woman is all about getting married, having children, and being bombarded by unimportant details of domesticity. But they did not understand that the education is very important for women, not only for them, but for a whole family. Because women are the mothers of the future generation. If women are uneducated, the future generations will be uneducated. In day-to-day life, the real problems are faced first by women, and then the same problems are conveyed to men for solution. If the women are educated, they can solve all the problems of their houses. It is said that whenever any man get education, it's only useful for him, but whenever any woman get education, it's useful for the whole family. An educated woman gives an educated family, and educated family can make society better. We cannot imagine a good society without the education of women. If a woman will not get education, how will she manage a whole family? Have we ever asked ourselves these basic questions? What is education? Why education is important? What is the meaning of education? Is it a basic right for everyone? These questions will make sense and aren't racist. However, asking that why education is important for women is a completely prejudiced opinion, because it makes us think that men are entitled with the right of education just because they are men. The definition of education is vast, but we can sum it up in a line saying, education is development and growth of oneself. Education makes us capable of acquiring new skills and being able to communicate with others in a civilized manner. Education is a basic right of everyone, and therefore, while providing education facilities, we should not discriminate among genders or sexes. Unfortunately, this discrimination still prevails in many parts of the world, and therefore it's a need to make people understand that women also deserve to be educated, and it is their basic rights to, just like men. Let us look at the main points for girls' education, or the advantages of girls' education. First of all, it is their basic right. Education is a basic right for everyone, and when we say everyone, we should not forget that women are also part of this lot. Society has a large population of women, and we cannot have such a large population as illiterate. It will be our huge loss. All the girls and women, whether they are rich, poor, young, old, married, unmarried, widow, or with any social status, have their basic right of education. Education is not a privilege, but a fundamental right. Second, it's important for the social development. Educated women could be the key to remove many social evils of Egyptian society, like female infanticide, workplace harassment, domestic or sexual violence, and etc. And educated women change the future of the generations. As for the economical development, educated women will definitely lead to the economical development of the nation as more women join the workforce. As for the high living standard, an educated woman will contribute financially for the needs of her family and relatives. Two earning parents provide better gross prospects for the children as well as a raised living standard for the family. And when it comes to self-reliance, education is vital for women as it makes women become self-reliant and eliminates her need to depend on a third person for her and her family's survival. Finally, it improves health and hygiene. An educated woman recognizes that health hazards to her family and knows how to deal with them. She knows how to feed and nurture her children, telling them about good and bad hygiene. And the government over the years has introduced many schemes to promote women's education in Egypt. According to the reasons for the female illiteracy, first of all, the deep-rooted culture of male domination is the main cause for female illiteracy. Second, economical reasons. A family with a boy and a girl prefer to educate the boy. Third, dowry culture. As the parents have the responsibility to make the jewels and the dowry ready for the girls, so they fail in educating them. Fourth, the lack of awareness. Fifth, the lack of facilities at school. As for the impact of low female literacy means an overall sluggish growth of Egypt as it has a negative impact upon every arena of the development. For instance, a mother is the first teacher. Consequently, if the mother is not illiterate, thus she will not be able to take care of her children. Moreover, she will not be able to make the right decision at the right time. In many cultures, boy is regarded as the one who looks after his parents, so this is the main cause of negligence of girls. Women became dependent on men. Concerning statewide literacy rate of women in Egypt, 1 out of every 4 people in Egypt is illiterate, meaning they don't know how to read or write. Being illiterate not only makes daily life difficult, but it also severely limits the amount of control one has over their life. Illiterate people are often given very laborious jobs that require little to no education. This affects the rural poor, where often the cycle continues as financial security is more important than education. When it comes to the illiterate in Egypt, women account for 69% of them, and they are trapped fulfilling traditional women's roles. Currently, about 86% of females aged 15 to 24 in Egypt are literate, and while that number has increased over the years, the progress has been slow. As the population increases at a staggering rate, many literacy programs are having a hard time keeping up with the influx of students. They would have to teach 1.4 million people to read and write per year to keep up with the population growth, which in the very least is daunting. The main reason for illiteracy is poverty, and many illiterate mothers have a tough time encouraging school to their children, since they themselves lack education. therefore never knew its value. Girls are much more likely to be removed from school to do household duties, and also the parents do not see much of a reason to invest in education, because they are likely to marry and move out of the household. Egypt is faced with a crisis, with the rate that population is growing and illiteracy remaining a problem that is becoming increasingly difficult to fix. As so often in poverty-stricken countries, girls are often the first to be kicked off the path of valuable opportunities. If a society only views its women as domestic workers, then it's hard to communicate the value of freedom that an education would afford them. If they aren't seen in higher paying jobs, they may not understand the benefits of an education. There are many issues that need to be settled, but at the root of them lies the illiteracy of Egypt's women. There are many prominent female characters all over the world, especially in the Arab world. For example, Hoda Sha'rawi, she is an Egyptian feminist and nationalist who established numerous organizations dedicated to women's rights and is considered the founder of the women's movement in Egypt. She is the founder of the Egyptian Feminist Union. She helped organize women's demonstrations against the British occupation and was an influential publisher and philanthropist. As for the second character, who is Latifa Zayat, she was a distinguished Egyptian activist, novelist, critic, and academic. Her works include 3 novels, a collection of short stories, a play, an autobiographical account, and 4 criticism books. She also published literary reviews, essays on women, studies in English and American literature, and translated 2 books of critical essays. She was professor of English at the Girls' College, Ain Shams University, and chair of the Department of English. As for the last character that we have here, who is May Ziyada, she is an Arab female poet, translator, orator, essayist, and critic of Palestinian Lebanese origin. May Ziyada was one of the leading female figures of the Arab Renaissance and one of the forerunners in revolutionizing Arabic poetry and prose. To sum up, an educated woman is like a magic wand, which brings prosperity, health, and pride. You just have to unleash our potential and see the magic happen. Factors restricting the growth of women in education in Egypt are mainly societal, and we need to recognize and eliminate them if we want to achieve the goals of socio-economic development. Education is more important for men and women because it tells us how to live in society. Men and women are like 2 sides of a coin. Without one, the other can't exist. Education of women can also be helpful in eradicating many social evils. Social peace can easily be established. Moreover, a woman has to play 3 distinct parts in the course of her life, in each of which certain duties are expected of her. The first duty of woman is to be a good daughter, the second is to be a good wife, and the third is to be a good mother. Education teaches a mother what she should be and also teaches her how should we do it to be a good daughter, a good wife, and a good mother.